Oi! Hello! Welcome to your third session of Portuguese 101 with me, your personal tutor, Christy. Today we're going to move forward as promised with your next lesson. Now we're moving rather quickly, but these phrases are hopefully short and we'll repeat them over and over so that we can get used to saying them. So as I began the lesson, when we say hello, we can say oi. Now if you recall from our previous lesson, I did mention the fact that there are other ways to say hello. One thing I was amiss to tell you is that occasionally you will hear people say hola, which also means hello, just like Spanish, but generally you'll hear oi. Now, the second part to this conversation is that you can say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on the time of day. Now, Brazilians live life on a little bit different of a schedule, so again, don't be confused if you might hear somebody say good afternoon to you at 6 o'clock in the evening, because their night is just getting started while ours is probably starting to wind down. But that aside, let's begin with the morning. If you want to say good morning to somebody in Portuguese, what you say is bom dia. Bom dia. Now, I was going to try to offer you some word help today, but as I went to practice, I looked and noticed, uh-oh, it's backwards on the camera, but I'm not sure if you can see it. Yeah, you probably can. Bom dia is how you pronounce it. The spelling is on the bottom, and bom dia means good morning. It also doubles as have a good morning. So if you're leaving somebody and you want to say have a good morning, you just say bom dia. If you see somebody you want to say good morning, you say bom dia. And that's how you do it. So once again, good morning is all right. Now, moving on to good afternoon, it's a little bit different. This one is the hardest, and you'll hear it said a couple of different ways. But the general gist is boa, which means good. Also, bom means good. Boa tarde. Now, I can't pronounce this one really well because the R's in Portuguese sound like an H, and it looks like tarde in Spanish, but it's pronounced tarde. Obviously, I'm kind of butchering it as well. But you'll hear people sometimes just say tarde, boa tarde, and they'll understand what you're saying. So let me just say it one more time and see if we can mimic as best as possible. Though please remember that I am a very, very basic beginner as well. Good afternoon is boa tarde. Boa tarde. As compared to good morning, which is bom dia. Finally, once we round about 6:30, it's pretty safe to say good evening, which is a little bit easier, and we say boa, again for good, boa noite, noite, boa noite, good evening, or have a good evening. So let's repeat. Good morning, bom dia, good afternoon, boa tarde, and good evening, boa noite. You have now completed your third lesson for Portuguese.